Now this afternoon in the Big East Conference, two unbeatens already battling for first place, Providence and Butler. And hi again, everyone. I'm John Rooke, along with Joe Hassett. Hopefully that's something we get used to saying throughout the course of this year. But through the first week or the first few days of the Big East regular season, both Providence and Butler survived their opening round matches.
They did. I mean, this Butler team is a lot better than they were last year, John. They're 10-2 right now, as you mentioned. And, you know, they got a few different guys out on the floor. But the key guy for me on this Butler team is Posh Alexander. Friar fans will be familiar with him. He played at St. John's the last couple of years. And he is a real spark plug out there for his team. Makes guys better on the floor. His weakness is he can't make three-pointers, and that's why he left St. John's. But he plays good defense. He disrupts everything on the offensive end for the opposition, and he's a good guy to run the fast break. This Butler team, John, has good size, and they can score. They have four guys in double figures, averaging double figures, so it's going to be a tough ball game. And, you know, Friar's going to have to play that good D that they've been playing all year and try to speed this team up a little bit.
I was just going to say, and we'll get into more of the changes, really, that this Butler team has undergone over the course of the last calendar year anyway. But for the Friars, now that you've gotten a signature win, a second real signature win on your resume this year, it's all about trying to maintain status quo.
Well, you got to do well in your conference. I mean, they did a good job outside of conference. Now you want to keep that momentum going in conference play, and you got to win your home games in conference. It's an unusual year for the Friars because they have 3 straight home games, which we've never seen happen here. I've been doing the games for 40 years, and I've never seen 3 straight conference games in a row at home. So it's important to stay focused on those and make sure you win those games. And this is the next one in line for a home game because you finish up the last 10 games of the year in conference play. 7 of those are on the road. So at some point you're going to pay for having these home games. So you want to make sure you play solid at home and keep the win streak going.
All right, so the Friars come in 10-2, 1-0 in the conference after beating the 6th-ranked Marquette 72-57 on Tuesday. And it was crushing defense, I thought, for the most part, Joe, that really put Providence in position to win that game the way that they did.
Well, their defense is so good. I mean, you look at 2 teams that they've beaten, Wisconsin and Marquette, the 2 better teams that they've played so far this year. And those teams there, the defense really set the tone in that game, in those games, John. And the Wisconsin team that really walked the ball up the floor and they want to pound it inside. They're like old school type of team. And Friars sped them up, played defense, and made them have to play fast. And they're not used to playing fast, and they only scored 45 points with 3 minutes to go. And then the second time they play a ranked team in Marquette plays the complete opposite. They want to get up and down the floor like the Friars, score 80 points a game, and make 3-pointers. And the Friars took them out of what they like to do as well. So Friars can play any style with that defense they play. They play good, solid man because they're so good defensively with their quickness, their fundamentals on defense, fighting over ball screens. They're excellent at. Everybody knows what each guy's supposed to be. They have different colors. They're going to switch one time. Other times they're going to fight over the top. And it really is a problem for the offensive oppositions that they play against.
And this Butler team averaging better than 83 points per game on offense will put that defense to the test and then some perhaps here today. And we'll talk about that with the head coach of the Friars, Kim English, coming up next. From Learfield, this is Providence Friar basketball.
LaSalle Bakery, Rhode Island Medical Imaging, Faulty Productions, Capital Grill, High Noon.
I got your number.
Friar fans, we need your host to ice the shooter during the second half of today's game. During the second half, if the opposing team misses 2 consecutive free throws, everyone here at the end of the second will receive a gift card.
Took one with Santi.
Fans, everyone's a winner in Friar Town, and the Friars have 7 assists in today's game. One of the man is going home with a prize pack, courtesy of the Rhode Island Lottery. Providence Friars Game app is your home for Providence College basketball. Just scan the QR code that currently appears on the video board to download that app. And make sure you turn on your location services to access all game day features, including programs. Again, scan the QR code currently on the video board to access today's
You guys are?
game day program.
Providence? We'll have a Christmas Day game next year? Why? TV wants one on Christmas Day? Lovely.
Friar Town, what's up? It's your main man Frankie here alongside the legendary crowd favorite
Yes. Your energy was amazing on Tuesday. We want to continue that today for our Christmas game against the Butler Big East. Be sure to continue this tradition and stand until the Flyers score this afternoon. Presented by Laxico.
Merry Christmas, Firetown. Nick Rojas here with the Dave's Market Fresh Take of the Game. Thank you so much for starting your Christmas weekend with us as we get ready for the Providence Flyers Toes and Butler Bulldogs today at noon on FS1 and on 99.7 FM WPRO. Tuesday night, the Flyers defeated number 6 Wildcat 72-57 right here at the AM. Devin Carter and Ticket Gaines both hit 5 3-pointers. First off the season, that 2 Flyers marked out 5 threes in the game. At 10-2.
I know, right?
3 of 10.
3 of 10.
You hold them with 57 points, you hit 3 of 10.
I know.
What happened?
Just lost it.
Their leading scorer is Pierre Brooks this season, who had 13 points and 6 rebounds against the Wiz, and is averaging 16 now.
There it is.
This season, Butler has won the race against Penn State, Texas Tech, and California this year, and is second in the Big East in scoring offense, averaging 83.8 points per game. It's the top defense in the Big East, going up against one of the top offenses in the league. Today at noon, follow along on social media at PC Fighters MVB. Subscribe to Providence College Athletics on YouTube. This has been the Dave's Market for Take Up the Game for PC Fighters MVB. I'm Nick Rojas. Merry Christmas, Firetown.
Legendary for your Providence College Flyers.
What do you want to do on the matchup, Joe?
Well, that Pierre Brooks is going to be a key guy, so you're going to have probably have Ticket Gaines got him maybe early because he's a little bigger than Devin is. So let's go Ticket Gaines against Brooks. Because Ticket's a good defensive player too.
Yep. John and Joe back inside the amp, moments away. Tip-off for Providence and Butler. Time for our Midland Roofing Protect This House matchup of the game. How do you match up with a team that is completely different from a year ago, Joe?
Yeah, and they're pretty balanced too, John. But Pierre Brooks is their leading scorer, and he's 6'6". He likes to take the three. He shoots 38% from three-point range, 50 from regular range. And, I like to see him. He's going to go against probably Devontae Gaines. Gaines, they don't talk about much on defense on Gaines, but he's a very good defender. We talk about his three-point shooting all the time because he knocks them down with pretty good regularity. But he's 6'6" as well, and he's going to play that small forward position against Pierre Brooks, and that should be a pretty good matchup.
Overall, this Butler team, as we mentioned earlier, 10-2, 1-0 in conference play after beating Georgetown 74-64 on Monday. And while their wins are just so-so overall, their two losses were to then 18th ranked Michigan State and to one of last year's Final Four teams in Florida Atlantic. They lost that game by 5. So this is actually, again, another step up in competition for them, but it's not like they haven't played anybody. They have played a couple of teams.
Well, they played some really good teams, John. Michigan State they lost to, as you just mentioned. Florida Atlantic doesn't get a lot of respect. I mean, they're in the top 20, but they brought everybody back from that NCAA Final Four team. They got a solid team. They play Arizona today in Las Vegas. They beat the Texas Tech team that's normally pretty good. They beat them in overtime. They beat California. I mean, this team here has done – they got some players, and nobody knows a lot about them because you're not talking about Butler that much.
It's really one of the great untold stories thus far in college basketball. This is a team that only has 3 players on the roster who were here last year, and only 2 of those guys played. They return only 9% of their scoring in minutes from a year ago. You want to talk about an overhaul for Thad Matta. That's what he's done.
Well, they needed an overhaul. They were awful last year, so they brought in some players who can play. And they have the key guy to me, as I mentioned, Posh Alexander. He's played in the Big East for 2 years, so he knows what to expect at home and on the road. He's a good floor general out there. He's tough as nails, plays good defense. His weakness is he can't shoot from 3, but other than that, he plays everything very well. He can guard the best player on the opposition, so he's a good player that gets everybody else involved offensively, and he'll make the offense work.
So we'll have the starting lineups and the tip-off. It's Providence and Butler in the Big East next. From Learfield, this is Providence Friar basketball.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Amica Mutual Pavilion for today's Big East matchup between the University Bulldogs and the Providence College Friars.
Oh, I got the Christmas lights out. Pretty cool.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And we welcome you inside the Amica Mutual Pavilion in downtown Providence for the Big East this afternoon. Providence and Butler. Hi again, everyone. John Rooke, along with Joe Hassett. Both teams 10-2. Both teams 1-0 in Big East play to open up the second round of the 2023-24 season. Butler comes in off of a 10-point win over Georgetown on Monday. The Friars knocking off 6th-ranked Marquette 72-57 on Tuesday. Let's take a look at the starting lineup presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Rhode Island. First of all, for the Bulldogs under Thad Matta in his second year of his second go-around as head coach at Butler, his 19th year overall. And he's got a 48-28 record coaching the Bulldogs. Jalen Thomas, 6'10 graduate transfer from Georgia State, starts in the middle at 6 points and 7 rebounds per game. Pierre Brooks, 6'6 junior from Detroit, a transfer from Michigan State, leads them in scoring at 16.5 points per game and 38% from three. Jamil Telford, 6'7 senior out of Northeastern, where he played a year ago, 15 points per game, 40% shooter. DJ Davis, 6'1 senior guard, transfer from Cal Irvine, 12 points and a 94% foul shooter. And Posh Alexander, 6' senior out of Brooklyn, the transfer from St. John's, 11 points, 5 assists, leading the Big East, 2 steals per game. He will be a handful, and this is a formidable Butler starting five. It is the 24th meeting overall between Providence and Butler University. Friars lead the series, 18 wins to 5 for the Bulldogs. Providence swept the 2 games a year ago, 79-58 here at the Amp and 72-52 at Hinkle Fieldhouse. And now, let's meet your Providence Friars starting five. At guard, the 6'2 sophomore from Elizabeth, New Jersey, number 1, Jaden Pierre. At the wing, 6'7 graduate student from Buffalo, New York, number 0, Ticket. Yay! In the middle, 6'9 graduate student from Virginia, number 13, Josh Durham. At guard, a 6'3 junior from Miami, Florida, number 22, David Carter. And at forward, 6'7 junior, Oak Park, Illinois, number 23, Bryce Hopkins. Right. Head coaches is in England. Almost couldn't get that one out.
I know. You stayed a while too on Odoro, man. Yeah.
Maybe that was
I thought maybe you just like.
I know. I almost coughed up a fur ball.
I thought you were gonna fall underneath the table here for a minute.
Hey, when they say, hey, can you do it like you do at Gillette? Oh, okay, all right. So you do what you do.
You do what you do.
That's it.
And you're good at it.
Hopkins, Carter, Oduro, Gaines, Pierre. You already talked about it in the matchups, Joe, where you really kind of feel like it'll be Ticket Gaines probably getting the at least the first assignment early on a guy like Pierre Brooks who leads them in scoring.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Carter will have his taste of anybody out there. Whoever gets hot, they'll put Carter on for a while to cool them all. But yeah, I think Gaines is a very good guard, defensive player too. But when you have the best defensive player in the league on your team, I get noticed a lot defensively. But I think Gaines is a good defender, and he'll probably play Brooks. But we'll see what happens out there. Telfor is another guy you got to worry about defensively, and they'll mix and match and do a lot. I mean, the Friars fight over screens and try to stay on their own man all the time, but they have colors that they yell out to change what they'll switch occasionally and just keep the offense guessing once in a while.
So Thomas, Brooks, Telford, Davis, and Alexander. Davis had an ankle injury, turned his ankle in the second half of that win over Georgetown on Monday, but he apparently is okay to play. The big story coming into the game, at least today, was Butler could not get out of Indianapolis last night. They had plane troubles, so they rallied the troops and got their boosters together, and they flew on 5 separate smaller Plains to get the entire team here at 7:30 this morning.
Yeah, the bus pulled up like an hour before the game here. So, what the young guys, though, they can rally pretty quickly. And when you're playing in a basketball game like this, the adrenaline's flowing, they should be okay.
We'll find out just how okay they will be. Friars in the home whites today. Black numerals, black lettering, black and white trim. Butler, we're told they're wearing these uniforms for the very first time. They are gray uniforms with dark blue lettering, numbers, and dark blue trim. Very similar looking uniforms, just the Friars wearing white and Butler wearing the gray.
A pretty ugly uniform, so I mean, this is a festive time of the year. Those things are awful.
Yeah, they don't have a lot of pizzazz, do they?
No.
So the white against the gray here today. It is
very morbid looking, John. They're morbid looking.
Morbid looking,
aren't they?
Well, I just say they're unimaginative.
Yeah, well, maybe they'll be morbid when they play today.
We're going to find out.
Yeah.
We'll find out, what it's like when you come in at 10:30 for a noon tip-off, right?
Friars practicing here yesterday at 10 o'clock. So they got practicing the same time they're going to play today, so that's good. And, most college kids don't get out of bed till 10 o'clock in the morning, so hopefully
10 o'clock?
Yeah.
Dude, what are you talking about?
Noontime?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I get up at 10.
Well, that's because you're old.
No, when I was in college.
Oh,
Come on,
okay.
man.
Big East officials, Brian O'Connell, Tony Chiazza, Evan Burrows. Butler wins the tap, and they'll get the first possession. Basket to our left on the radio here in half number one. Posh Alexander up high with it for Telford. Telford now finds Thomas on the high post, turns, gives it to Davis in front of the Friar bench, gets around Pierre, gets to the foul line, jumper up off the back iron, bounces twice in and out. Oduro grabs the rebound. Friars going left to right here in half number one. With it on the left sideline, Bryce Hopkins turns the corner, goes right to the hoop, goes up, rolls off the rim. Oduro offensive rebound, chases it down on the left baseline. Now he swings it over to the right corner, and a three for Gaines is good.
Offensive rebounding, big. Good job there on the offensive glass by Oduro. Finds Gaines in the corner, nothing but net.
Gaines, who had 18 in the win over Marquette on Tuesday, strikes first for the Friars. Here's Alexander at the top of the key with it for Butler. How many times am I going to say St. John's today? Throws up the runner in the lane, goes around the rim, it won't go. And the rebound, Hopkins pushes up the right side to Pierre, who crosses over the middle. He finds Carter in the left wing, back to Jaden, who gets off a three, and it's good.
Jaden picking up now, knocking down some threes. He missed a couple in the last ball game. He's shooting 40% this year. And that's nice to see that first one go down.
Averaging 8 points per game, and the Friars out to a quick 6-0 lead. Brooks has it at the top of the key, the Michigan transfer. Now for Thomas, finds Alexander, curls down to the right on Carter, tries to post him up. Carter knocks the ball away, and then Oduro gets the rebound, blocks the shot. Pierre up the floor, finds Carter left side, and Carter again has a hard time with that one, throws it away, and it's picked up by Davis. Davis now pushes left for Brooks. He's going to launch a deep three. Around the rim, no. Hopkins with the rebound. So cold start here for Butler. Here comes Hopkins with the left-hand dribble, goes down the lane, works inside on Telford, tries to go up and under and scores.
Good job there by Hopkins. He saw the lane there. They're trying to take away the three, Butler is, and Hopkins gets that open lane, just finishes at the rim.
The Friars out to a quick 8-0 start here in the opening 2 minutes of this game. Telford has the ball out front now for Butler. Comes to the left wing for Posh Alexander. Alexander, high post, finds Jalen Thomas. Thomas hands off for Brooks, drives to the right side, throws up the floater off the back iron, in and out. Gaines with the rebound.
Deep by Gaines, too. He challenged that shot.
Long pass into the forecourt. They find Oduro, but it gets knocked away and taken back now by Telford. Telford hands off, left side, deep three on the way for Davis. That's a high rebound. Alexander with the offensive board, slashes to the hoop, lays it up, can't get that. Oduro snatches it away. Now Carter back the other way for Pierre. Pierre crosses into the lane, kicks it all the way through for Hopkins. Almost walked with the ball. Now he goes underneath with it. Oduro reverses, puts it up.
Foul, man. The guy just wrapped his arms around his waist.
Yep, and no foul called, and Butler grabs the rebound. Telford's now going to slow it down a little bit, as the Bulldogs are 0 for their first 8 from the floor here in the opening 3 minutes of the game. Telford goes low on Hopkins with the drive defensively, goes up with a one-hander, right side, 0 for 9. Rebound out of bounds. It is off of Hopkins. And Butler will keep it. 16:54 to go in the opening half. An 8-0 Friar lead. Bulldogs again have now missed their first 9 shots from the floor.
They're a good offensive rebounding team. Friars have to keep them off the glass for sure, especially when you're not making shots.
Looking for the inbounds. Alexander got it tipped out of bounds by Gaines in the right corner. Shot clock will stay reset at 20. 3 offensive rebounds already for Butler in this game, Joe.
Yeah, they haven't scored, so they have opportunities. They're just not making the shots.
Right corner, Alexander inbounds it. Now they find Thomas up top, bounces to Telford, the Northeastern transfer, to the right corner again for Brooks. Moves to his left. Now he tries to post up in the right side. And
Blocked
it got
by
blocked by Gaines and picked up by Pierre. Great defense. Here comes Carter pushing up the floor. Hopkins slashes right side, banks it up and scores.
That's the way you run. Get out on that fast break. The Friars, they get the ball. They're going down the 4 or 5 seconds and they get the shot up.
10-0 Friar lead to start the game. Alexander, Telford open for 3. Off the back iron, no. Rebound tapped out. Chased down by Gaines. Long pass into the forecourt. Hopkins behind the defense. He slammed it.
Timeout, Butler. Man, the Friars come out of the gate here on fire. The offensive defense has been terrific.
Absolutely smoking here for the noontime start inside the amp. A 12-0 run to start the game. And Thad Mata calls time for Butler. 12-0 the score, 16-15 to go in the first half. From Learfield, this is Providence Friar basketball.
Yeah, baby.
Fans, welcome back to the end. My name is Lanny, and thank you for joining us in today's contest between the Butler Bulldogs and your Providence College Friars. We'd just like to take a moment to thank you for making.
Man, you better be ready to play against this Friar team there because they're coming at you, boy.
I love the defense. The defense that's just like,
I like the
holy crap.
I like the pace though. As soon as they get it, they don't hold it off and
No,
hand it
no,
off. They're
they
like
get it up the
going,
floor.
man. They're going. You better get back or you're going to get dunked on.
I love that. I absolutely
That's the
love
way
it.
you're supposed
I can
to
understand
play.
why players like to play that way too.
Oh yeah.
Because you know when you get a defense, you fly down the floor. Get down the floor, you're going to get the ball.
That's when they're at their best. You put a lot of pressure on the defense to get back. But,
Man.
you know, if you can get 10, 15 points a game on breakouts,
Oh, yeah.
you don't have to set up against a half-court offense every time. Defense every time. You're going to be much more effective.
Yep. Four of 12. On fast break. Okay. Providence College basketball brought to you in part by Dave's Marketplace. Our fresh take of the game. Friars have been shot out of a cannon.
Well, 5 for 7 from the floor so far, 2 for 2 from three-point range. Gaines and Pierre have the threes. Butler struggling, 0 for 11 from the floor so far, 0 for 3 from three-point range. They have 4 rebounds, 3 of those are offensive rebounds. The Friars are winning the rebound battle as well. They have 9 rebounds, getting out on the break, 8 defensive rebounds, but the pace of the game, John, I was talking to you during the commercial break, the Friars, as soon as they get the rebound or a turnover, they are gone. I mean, it's like a track meet. They're filling the lanes, pushing the ball down the floor as quickly as they can. They've scored, whenever they haven't made a three, the other scores have all been in the paint in this game. They're getting to the glass on the fast break.
Butler comes into this game with a 7-game winning streak, 10-2 overall. They've won 7 straight after their losses back-to-back at Michigan State and against Florida Atlantic, as we talked about in the pregame. This team is one of the top scoring teams, top 30 in the nation, is scoring one of the top of the Big East at almost 84 points per game. They're also the number 1 free throw shooting team in the Big East and in the top 10 in the nation in free throw shooting at nearly 80% from the foul line.
They're a good team. I mean, they came in here. They've got some good wins. They played some tough teams. They're just having a cold start here to start off. 0 for 11 on the road. That's tough, and the Friars have taken advantage of it. They're 5 for 7. The Friars have 4 assists on their 5 made baskets, so they're moving the ball very nicely, and they're getting it down the floor so quickly. They haven't had to set up against the half-court defense of Butler. Maybe one possession in this game. They're scoring everything against the break.
Andre Screen, 7'1" senior out of Alexandria, Virginia, and a transfer from Buttonell. Checks in for Jalen Thomas in the middle. Butler with the basketball. And they'll inbound against some token pressure in the backcourt for the Friars. And it will be Jamil Telford. Again, the Northeastern transfer who brings it up against Bryce Hopkins. Now for Posh Alexander, and Posh will match up with Devin Carter. Posh between the circles with it, pushes to the right side, finds Davis, looks to the inside on the right wing with it. Back out front, Telford. Now on the right wing for Screen. Screen will go against Oduro. Tries to back his way in from the right side into the lane. Spins to the outside, jump hook up short. And the ball is loose on the floor, and a whistle and a foul. They're going to call a foul on Oduro.
For the loose ball there.
It's a loose ball.
They felt he pushed off going for that loose ball.
Goodness gracious. First foul of the ball game for either team here with 15:43 to go.
Good defense again by the Friars. The shot clock was winding down to 1, and the shot was going off, and the guy who just came in the game, Screen, had to take the shot.
Alexander inbounds for the baseline left of the basket with a fresh 20 on the clock. On the left wing is Brooks. Brooks will go against Gaines. Back out front for Telford. Gets around the screen at the elbow. Look for penetration in the lane. Leans in with the left hand. Banks it up. Won't get it, and Oduro snatches it away. Telford tries to come in and ties him up, and the arrow belongs to Providence.
Oduro's got to rip that ball out of there that time. Telford just put both hands in there. He's got to rip it away from him. He allowed him to get in there.
So the Friars will get it, and Pierre will take it into the forecourt to our right. 0 for 13 is the start from the floor for the Bulldogs. Right wing Carter in front of the Butler bench. He's got Alexander guarding him, and Posh, who's very sneaky, jabs it away and knocks it out of bounds.
Well, he's a very good defensive player, too. You know, his only weakness is he can't shoot, but everything else he does very well.
Carter will inbound it, 17 to shoot, out to Oduro, up high now for Hopkins. Hopkins guarded by Telford, and Butler's man-to-man defense pushes it right for Oduro. Oduro goes cross-court. They find Gaines, left corner three. Got it!
Oh, he went in the right corner so far, and that one there in the left corner, deep one.
That's 2 for Gaines, and the Friars have scored the first 15 points. Davis in the lane, throws up the runner, and Butler finally on the board. 5 minutes and 4 seconds into the game. DJ Davis with the runner.
Good move there by Davis. He hit the floater over Pierre. Pierre played good defense right there, though.
Top of the key, Hopkins slides to the left, fires a three off the back iron. No good. Rebound for Alexander on the right baseline. Up the floor, the sideline for Brooks. Brooks crosses over, gets around Gaines in the lane, throws up the runner, and Pierre Brooks gets his first basket.
Well, he finishes nicely. When he had that screen, he was able to turn the corner that time. It's a little floater in the lane.
So Butler now starting to wake up. Back-to-back baskets. It's 15-4. Carter comes off a high screen and got fouled from behind by Posh, who tried to pick his pocket.
Well, he does that a lot. He tries to come in from behind and tip it to a teammate or strip it himself, and that time he picks up the foul.
Well, it's first foul on Butler. And you've got the first substitution here. Finley Bizjack. I think, no, Landon Moore checks in. And Bizjack, Finley Bizjack, 6'4" freshman out of Texas. And another candidate for our all-name team, Joe, I think.
Bizjack.
Top of the key, Oduro gets it off the inbounds, has it against screen to the right side for Pierre, comes off the screen, penetrates, bounces to Oduro, puts it on the floor, goes up, lost it, goes back up with it again, right side, scores.
Good strong hands by Oduro right there. His guys were slapping at it, tried to get it away from him, but he kept his hands strong and gets it up off the glass.
First basket for Josh Oduro. It's 17-4 Friars here. 13:58 to go in the opening half. Telford comes off a screen, gets to the foul line, goes up the jumper, short, long rebound. Oduro in the middle of the lane, gives it up the left side of the forecourt. Now for Gaines. Gaines the sideline, finds Oduro up high, comes right for Carter. Carter gets around Bizjack, spins on him to the top of the key, jump hops to the lane, gets it back out for Hopkins. Hopkins on the perimeter, goes up for three. That is off the rim, no good, and the rebound for Screen. Now Screen hands off for Landon Moore. Moore is a transfer from St. Francis, Pennsylvania. Works to the right side, goes all the way down on Oduro, clears it through on the baseline, backs it out to Bizjack, the freshman. Comes back to the right side for DJ Davis. Davis drives to the baseline, kicks it all the way through. Moore gets off a left corner three and hits.
Good shot there by Moore. Friars played pretty good defense, but Moore slipped away in the corner.
Landon Moore on the Northeast Conference all-rookie team a year ago at St. Francis. It's a 7-2 Butler run. Here comes Pierre back out to Oduro. They leave him alone for three, and he hits.
Can't leave Oduro open. He's a good shooter from three-point range. Doesn't take a lot of shots out there, but he makes most of them.
Shoots 41% from three. Gets the tray, and the Friars up 20-7. Moore comes to the left side off a high screen, going to throw up another three-pointer and buries it.
Well, Carter got late that time. See, a guy like Moore hits that first shot. Now he thinks he's going to make everything. So you got to get up on him and make him put him on the floor, go to the basket.
Only averages 5 points per game. He's already got 6 here in the first half. Up high again, Oduro, 2 dribbles to the right, a handoff for Carter, who spins to the left. Carter tries to lean in on Landon Moore, doesn't get a foul call. Back out front now for Oduro and a whistle. What's that all about?
Well, Carter got hit in the neck, and he's coming off the floor right now.
All right, so Carter comes off after getting hit in the neck, and there's no foul call. Corey Floyd will check in, replacing Jaden Pierre. And Garway Dual is also checked in.
He checked in for Carter.
Garway's got the bright canary yellow sneakers going on, and Bryce Hopkins has the neon orange sneakers going on today.
Festive.
And Posh Alexander has the, looks like, what color is that? That's purplish pink? Lavender?
Doesn't go with that uniform.
Right side Gaines with 4 to shoot. Top of the key, Oduro with 2. With 1, you got to get the shot off. I don't think he did. He didn't get it off, but they can let him have it, and Butler grabs the rebound. Sometimes the Friars not a whole lot of attention to where the shot clock was. Alexander to Bizjack now comes out front for Moore, who's hit a couple of threes here for the Bulldogs. Moore comes off a high screen set by Screen, rolls down the right side, looks inside, comes back out to the freshman Bizjack. Alexander, quick pass to Screen on the left side into the post. 10 to shoot here for Butler. Screen puts it on the floor against Oduro, goes up with a jump hook, won't get it, and Oduro, oh, he will get it. It drops in, and Oduro's called for the foul. And Oduro looked at the official and says, what am I supposed
to do right there? He had position. He guessed right where he was going, and he took it right up into him. Screen. A good move by Screen, but I don't think it was a foul right there.
I don't think so either, but the official calls it, and that's 2 now on Josh Oduro. We got a timeout on the floor, 11:44 to play, and the Friar lead has been cut to 8. From Learfield, this is Providence Friar basketball.
Fans during the Friars regular season, Finetco will donate $10 to Hope Hospice in Hollywood, Rhode Island for every free throw made by the
Really, what is he supposed to do? Holy crap.
Finetco, a proud partner.
I think because he didn't go straight up, he might have tried to deflect the ball first on the way up, and then the kid went underneath his arm and he picked up the foul.
I'm here with my main man Omari, who will have 4 plays to choose from on the video board and must choose the correct one using only their baby picture. Everybody look at the board and let's play along.
Already we're in foul trouble. Jesus Christ. Gonna be something we have to deal with all year long.
Yep.
Tell you what, though, I wouldn't mind having that Andre Screen on my team. He'd be a great second guy, huh?
I know. I mean, I keep thinking of McNair. How good would he be right now? Put him in the game. He could be a big guy in there. And...
That's a great job. We're still going home with a Friar Promise match. Once again, that was the Guess the Smile trivia question presented by Delta Dental of Rhode Island. Give him the prize! Give him the prize!
John and Joe back inside the AMP. Providence basketball brought to you in part by Finetco, a family of lumberyards. We got 11:44 to go here in the first half. Butler starting to crawl their way back into it after the Friars scored the first 15 points of the game. It's a 12-5 Bulldog run since that point in time. And they got Andre Screen going to the line to try to complete a 3-point play. Josh Oduro has picked up 2 fouls.
Well, you knew Butler was eventually going to start making some shots, John. They started out 0 for 11, but they made 5 of the last 8 shots. So
5 of the last 6?
Yeah, they're cool. They're getting it going a little bit out here. So the Friars weren't going to continue to shoot at 85% either, but, kid coming off the bench did a good job. Moore knocking down 2 3-pointers to get them back into the ball game here. Down 8. It's a long game, college basketball. You play 30-second shot clock. You have to keep playing, and you're going to have runs in games. So Friars have to come out here and get another offensive run going, keep the defense going out at the same time. Now, it's a key point in the ball game for the Friars, obviously. You got Castro in the game. We gave him some decent minutes in the last ball game against Marquette. But, you got Oduro now with 2 fouls with 11:44 to go. That's plenty of time. This team's a good rebounding team, and they're a physical team. So Castro has to be a little physical in there and has to make sure he protects the rim.
You look at Andre Screen, 7'1" senior from Virginia, go to the line. You can see he's like a monster. Compare 50 pounds more than
Castro.
Castro. At the foul line, Screen is a 66% foul shooter. And he misses it. So for a team that shoots almost 80%, they missed their first attempt at the line. But it's a 5-0 Butler run here. Friars with an 8-point lead of the ball. Garway Duval to the left wing, now finds Hopkins, drives down to the baseline. Has it on the left wing, goes up inside with an up and under move. Got it rejected by Screen, but right to Castro, who goes up and puts it up too strong. And then Castro gets fouled on the putback. And he's fouled on Andre Screen.
See, that's a good example right there. Castro, he's got to take that thing up and dunk it, but he ended up falling out of bounds on that play. He was fortunate he picks up the foul by
It's because he got muscled out of bounds by Screen on the play.
Yeah, he just pushed him right out, but he was wide open for a second there on the rebound.
So Castro to the line for 2, and the first shot is in and out. He's only 43% from the line of the year, averaging 3.5 points and nearly 3 rebounds per game for the Friars off of the bench. The Friars are going to bring Jaden Pierre back into the lineup. And we got one more try at the line for Castro. And the second shot is also no good. So the Friars 0 for 2 after really miserable at the foul line in the win over Marquette. Just 60% from the line. Alexander has it now for Butler at the top of the key. Pushes to the right for Bizjack. Goes lob inside. It's tipped away by Castro and taken by Hopkins. Hopkins up the left side into the forecourt. Now finds Pierre between the circles. Comes to Duval on the right side, and Duval then almost has it taken by Posh. But Duval then goes back on Posh, leans in, goes underneath to Castro. He fakes, he puts it up, and gets fouled inside. Posh took a rap in the mouth, I think, from Duval on that pass.
He did. Tried to steal it, and they're going to look at the monitor now. They felt that Duval's offhand might have hit Posh in the face there. Posh is looking at his face there, but they're going to look at it.
Screen picks up the second foul already for him in the last 30 seconds. And the officials are discussing this out in front of the table without coming to the monitor yet.
Castro should have dunked that one on the first pass.
Now they're going to come to the monitor. And unfortunately, Garway, who's been involved already in a tussle or two, the Kansas State game certainly comes to mind where he was ejected. He's going to get labeled with a reputation for this if it keeps occurring.
Well, he's so long. His arms are so long that when Posh Alexander was trying to steal it, and he almost did, and Garway got it back, and then when he went to the basket, he used his off arm to clear himself, and Posh Alexander's face happened to be in the way. If you keep looking in, if you keep reaching in on guys who are dribbling the ball.
That's the issue. Posh likes to get up tight on you anyway. So it's not a surprise that he gets hit like that. Nothing.
Duval was just
Tony Chiazza says nothing.
Of course it was nothing. I mean, you were just protecting yourself. What are you supposed to do? Back off and let him steal the ball? You got to give yourself some pace out there. And Garway's arms are so long, and he's, he can put the ball well out there and use the off arm and hit you in the face.
So Castro's going to go to the line and shoot 2 more after missing his first 2 shots just 30 seconds ago. Foul again on Screen, his second, team's third. Neither team has scored any points in the last 2 minutes and change. So after the hot start, we've calmed down quite a bit. Friars have not scored in 2:03 on the clock.
It happens occasionally when you go to the bench. Both teams went to the bench. Guys are coming off the bench a little cold, and Castro makes the free throw.
So his first point of the ball game. Again, we said he averages 3.3 per game off of the bench, 43% from the line. He's 1 for 3. And the second shot is up, and he got them both. So he's back to 50%.
All right, Raphael. He's going to be important this year. The more minutes he plays, he's got to be able to get better.
Got to be able to score from the line, too. Friar lead back to 10. Here's Alexander with a left-hand dribble, picked up by Corey Floyd. Rolls to the right off of a high screen outside the three-point stripe. Comes back to the left. Jumper up from the foul line off the back iron. No good. Rebound Thomas, who came back into the game, and Castro fouls him.
Castro trying to box him out but couldn't do it. Thomas just threw him out of bounds and ended up getting that rebound. Castro's got to put his body on him and keep him off the glass. If you can't get the rebound, the rule of thumb is your teammate has to get the rebound, but Castro allowed him to get to the basket.
And that's now 5 offensive rebounds for Butler, so they're doing a good job on the backboards, at least on the offensive end here. And Jalen Thomas, 6 for 7 from the line on the season for the big man, making 6 for 8.
Well, they're a good rebounding team, John, because they have good size. I mean, they're 6'7", 6'8", and they go at the glass. And when you're struggling offensively, you got to go to the glass to try to get some second opportunities.
Thomas, one more shot at the foul line. He is on the way, and he got that one. That's his first point of the game. 22-13, Friars with 10:38 on the first half clock here at the Amp. Garway Duval has it into the backcourt. Will bring it into the forecourt. Pierre Brooks awaits him, drives to the right side, slides down the right side, goes up and under with a lob for Castro, kicks it back out for Hopkins. Hopkins back out front for Floyd. Floyd starts right, goes left, penetrates left, gets into the lane, works his way around with a runner, right hand, in and out. It won't go, and a rebound is tapped over to Thomas.
That's a good shot right there by Corey. Just didn't go down.
Telford, Davis on the left sideline, high screen, comes to the right, rolls to the right, is down the lane, runner up, off the rim, no good. Castro kept it alive and tipped it over to Floyd.
Good job, Castro, boxing out.
Now Floyd works to the right, penetrates, finds Hopkins. Hopkins backs it out,
Shoot
left-hand dribble, goes up with a jumper from 17, off the iron, no. And Jalen Thomas with the rebound again for Butler.
Bryce looks like a little indecisive out there now shooting the shot because he's missed a couple.
Bosch drives to Davis. Davis drives the right side of the lane, kicks the ball back out to Thomas on the high post, hands off for Telford, fakes right, goes to the left, slides into the left post as Hopkins playing behind him, spins to the outside, goes up and under with a right-hand move, left and short, and there's Hopkins clears the board.
I'll tell you what, Hopkins is a good defensive player. Nice job there.
Here's Pierre weaving in traffic, goes right to the hoop, kicks the ball out. Floyd is open for three, left side, it's well short. He just yanked it a little bit too soon. And again, Butler with a rebound, and Davis got it knocked out of bounds away by Duval, who can't come up with a steal.
You know, the offense by both teams has been a mystery here in the last 5 or 6 minutes.
You know, Friars are going to put some regulars back in there. Oduro, Carter, and Gaines all back into the game. Friars have hit just one of their last 7 from the floor, Joe.
Yeah, and that's some good looks, too. I mean, it's not like they're taking bad shots.
Butler inbounds, 27 to shoot. Out front now for Pierre Brooks. Brooks will go against Carter. That's a big of a physical mismatch as Carter gives up 2 inches and about 30 pounds, and Brooks just takes his way down the lane and scores.
Yeah, he's a good scorer, Brooks. I mean, he gets in that traffic right there and elevates over.
22-15. We dip under 9 minutes to play in the half. Pierre drives left, finds Oduro at the top of the key. Oduro hands off to Carter. Carter uses Oduro as a screener. They double on him. He drives to the right baseline, backs it out front for Floyd. Floyd now feeds the post to Oduro with 10 to shoot. Oduro spins to the inside on Thomas, reverses and scores.
What a good move by Oduro right there. That quick spin move, he froze Thomas there, got to the basket for the layup.
He's got 7 here in the half. Friars go back up 9, 8.5 to go in the half. And Butler's Posh Alexander up the right sideline into the forecourt to our left. Davis, top of the key, gets to the left elbow. High post for Thomas. Thomas turns, one dribble, gives it back to Davis, cuts back to the left, gets up the runner, puts it up short, rebound for Carter.
Good defense by Pierre right there.
Here's Carter up the middle of the floor, top of the key, a handoff for Pierre. Right corner, Gaines for 3. Missed everything on that one. Alexander with a loose ball rebound. Flies into the forecourt, crosses over, goes down the lane, throws up the runner, won't get it, draws the foul.
It's a foul on Pierre. With Alexander, you know he's going to go to the basket. He's not looking to pull up to take a jump shot.
Nope.
He tried to get by Pierre that time. Pierre just a little step late. Alexander creates the contact, gets to the line for 2.
First on Jaden. That's 4 on the Friars here in the half with 8:01 on the clock. And Posh Alexander, the 6-foot senior from Brooklyn, played 3 years at St. John's before deciding to move on when Rick Pitino took over the program. And the free throw is no good for Alexander, who's a 78% foul shooter, averages 11 points, 5 assists, and better than 2 steals per game.
Yeah, when Rick Pitino took the job at St. John's, he wants shooters, Rick Pitino, and he didn't want Posh Alexander, so because he can't shoot. Can't make threes, you can't play for Pitino.
Second shot for Posh. Bounces out, and the ball is taken by Oduro. He saves it to Carter. Butler started 1 for 5 from the free throw line. Floyd, right side, fakes, drives, goes right to the rim and laid it up, but he got fouled on the floor by DJ Davis before the shot.
Good move there, too, by Corey.
And a timeout with 7:53 to go. Providence 24, Butler 15 from Learfield. This is Providence Friar basketball.
Friar Town, please welcome back to the court your Providence College dance team.
What's up, man? How'd you get to the game?
We've only scored 9 points in about 7 minutes.
Yeah.
The Hot Potato Food Truck is a proud partner of PC Athletics. For your next event, call the Hot Potato Food Truck at 401-919-3009. The Friar offense, not exactly a hot potato right now, Joe. They've scored just 9 points in the last 7 minutes and 15 seconds.
Yeah, they started off after the first time out. They were 5 for 7. Now they're 9 for 19 for the ball game at 47%. Though 4 of 9 though from 3-point range. That's good shooting. Butler, on the other hand, started the game off 0 for 11 after that first time out. They're 6 for 24 now, 2 for 5 from 3-point range. Butler just has 1 assist on their 6 made baskets, so they're doing a lot of one-on-one out there. That's what the Friars force you into doing. Same thing happened to Marquette in the last game. Friars have 6 assists on their 9 made baskets, doing a good job of moving the ball. Friars out rebounding Butler 17 to 14. 2 of those offensive rebounds. Butler has 5 offensive rebounds. Turnovers, Butler with just 1, Friars with 2. So both teams doing a good job of taking care of the ball so far in the ball game. But you knew the offense was going to cool off a little bit. Both teams are good defensively, John. I mean, they're good on the ball, and you're not going to continue to make shots at that kind of clip that the Friars were shooting at. But you have to make good decisions out there and start getting down the fast break even more. The Friars got out on the break at the beginning of the game, and they were 5 for 7. But Butler's done a good job now of controlling that fast break the Friars had, getting easy hoops early on.
Gaines, Dual, Carter, Oduro, and Pierre. The Friar 5 out on the floor. Friars will have the ball, 25 to shoot, 7:53 to play in the half, leading 24-15. Pierre, right side baseline, lobs it to Oduro. And then Thomas goes over his back and doesn't get a foul call. Top of the key, Oduro back out front for Carter. Fakes, he drives on Thomas, kicks it to the right for Jaden. Got DJ Davis guarding him. Jaden dribbles in traffic, picks up the loose ball on the left wing. Here's Duval, left corner. Gaines for 3, bang.
Boy, I just love Gaines, huh? That's 3 threes he's got in this ball game. 2 in the left corner, 1 in the right corner.
That corner is his spot. He's got 9.5, and the Friars are back up a dozen. Alexander has it up front against Garway Duval. Works to the right side out on the perimeter. Now looks for the backdoor cut. Not going to get one. Duval restricts him. He drives down the lane, lays it up, and he scores by Garway.
Well, Garway's got to take away that right hand. I mean, he's not going to shoot the jump shot. Garway got up on him that time, and he blew by him. You got to back off Alexander.
First basket of the game for Posh. 27-17. Pierre pushes left. Carter feeds the post. Oduro, there's the double team. Comes cross court. Gaines for 3 again. Make him pay!
How did they leave him open? That's his 4th 3, and Oduro signed him twice on the both corner and the right.
Talk about making him pay. Thad Matta can't believe his guys left him alone again.
You read the scouting report. You got to play games.
Here's Telford. Drives to the left. Hands off to Posh in front of the Friar bench. Feeds Telford in the post. He's got Gaines playing him defensively. Backs his way in. Gets a foot in the lane. Spins to the inside. Goes up off the rim and rolls it in. First basket for Jamil Telford.
Oh, good post up right there. The Friars didn't help out there, but was able to get in there and take a tough jump hook.
30-19. 6:19 on the first half clock remaining. Pierre slides to the left sideline with it against Davis. Oduro well out on the post. Has it, now drives into the post. Kicks it back outside for Jaden, who sets for 3. Got it.
Jaden Pierre, he can shoot the rock. Shot 50% last year from 3. He's 2 for 2 in this ball game.
And that is now 7 made threes for the Friar offense in the first half, and they go back up by 14. Here's Posh between the circles against Duval. Looks for the high screen. Backdoor pass there to Brooks. Brooks goes up with a short little runner, rolls off the rim, rebound tip, no good, and it's tipped out. Duval had it, and Posh takes it away. He scoops it up the hoop. He won't get it, and a foul is called. Oh, my goodness. Posh just threw it up at the basket, and they'll call Gaines for the foul. Well, Friar coaches really got all over Brian O'Connell on that call.
Well, I mean, it's just a bailout call. Posh Alexander just went flying in there at 100 miles an hour and just hoped he created contact.
And just flipped it up over his head. So Posh gets 2 free throws, and the first one is good.
And, you know, Posh can't shoot, so he's going to go in there like a Bull in the China shop, man, just knocking everybody over and hope he gets a whistle.
Oduro comes out. Hopkins comes back in. So Hopkins will play the short 5, if you will, while he's out there with 5:40 to go. As Oduro has 2 fouls. Second shot for Posh bounces and stays. He's got 4 in the half, 33-21. Friar lead is a dozen. 5:37 on the clock. Duval now will take it. Forecourt to our right. High screen set by Hopkins. Hopkins top of the key, dribbles right, hands off for Pierre, comes back to Carter. Carter goes left side. They left him again for 3. That time he hit it too strong.
He was shocked. 2 guys were on him, then they both left.
Pushing to the left side, driving in his Brooks into the post, goes cross court to Alexander. Alexander wants to make that entry pass, comes out front for Telford. Back to Alexander on the right wing. Posh on the sideline, gets to the foul line, spins inside, and Duval lays it up. Missed it. Hopkins with the rebound and then gets fouled.
Alexander.
Posh picks up his second. That is now 5 on Butler.
See, Galway's playing Alexander, and they're going underneath the screens on him. They're fighting over on everybody else, but they go underneath the screens on Alexander. They want him to take the outside shot, so you keep backing off him, he won't have enough lanes to get to the basket. Good D that time.
So Pierre will pick it up and bring it into the forecourt to our right. And he's got Landon Moore back in the game guarding him. Carter, who has not scored here in the first half, gets to the top of the key to the right side for Duval. So Carter getting taken out of this game thus far by Butler. Duval shakes, bakes to the right side. Pierre, right corner, drives the baseline, kicks it all the way through. Carter for 3 and just short.
That's his first shot of the game.
Brooks, long pass into the forecourt, finds Moore in the forecourt in front of the Friar bench, drives around Duval, tries to go up, got a block from behind. Ball is tipped up, and Gaines tips it to himself. Now Pierre pushes, left sideline, up the floor, finds Hopkins. They leave him alone. He's going to drive into the lane on Telford, spins back out front for Gaines. Gaines is between the circles, comes to the right wing for Carter. Carter starts right, goes to the left with a left-hand dribble, back out between the circles, pushes back to the right for Hopkins. He drives, spins inside on Thomas. He slipped to the floor, back out to Carter for 3. That's no good, missed almost everything. And the rebound for Butler. So Carter 0 for 2.
Good D by Butler that possession.
Pierre Brooks drives right, gets toward the corner on the sideline. Deep 3 is on the way and hits.
He's good.
And that's the first tray for Pierre Brooks. And Kim English is going to call a timeout here. Butler has got it back to a single-digit deficit with 3:53 remaining. It's 33-24. Friars with the lead by 9. We'll take the timeout from Learfield. This is Providence Friar basketball.
You can't back off Pierre. They made him backed up on that 3. You can't do that.
Nope. Yep. John Rooke and Joe Hassett back inside the amp. Rossi Electric, our pregame sponsor. Thus far, the Friars with a 33-24 lead over the Butler Bulldogs. A 5-0 mini run here for Butler, Joe. Friars again have gone scoreless for 2 minutes and 14 seconds. They've had already 3 scoreless streaks in better than 2 minutes in this half after scoring the first 15 points of the game.
Yeah, Butler's playing pretty good defense, John. The Friars haven't had a lot of open looks except for our guy there, Devontae Gaines. He's 4 for 6. All 3-point shots he's taken. He's made 4 of them. He's got 3 rebounds. Pierre Brooks just hit a 3 right there. He's the guy that shoots 38% from beyond the arc, and both guys backed off him on that one. That was his first 3 of the ball game. But, you look at Butler, they're 9 for 30 in the game, 3 for 6 from three-point range. They're 3 for 7 from the foul line. You mentioned, John, they're one of the best foul shooters in the conference, and they're struggling from the line so far. The Friars, 7 for 15 from 3. 15 of their 25 shots have been three-pointers, so they're really looking for that three. Friars have 9 assists on their 12 made baskets, which is good distribution. They're moving the ball very well. And just 2 turnovers for the Friars and just 1 for Butler. So both teams taking good care of the ball. But, again, I think the shots, except for Gaines, he's had most of the open looks. Everybody else has had contested shots.
Between Pierre and Gaines, they've hit 6 of the 8 from 3. Everybody else is 1 for 7. So you got to have somebody hitting.
Well, Carter hit 5 the last ball game, and he hasn't scored in this one yet. And Butler's done a good job of contesting him and not letting him get looks. He's only taken 2 shots in the game.
Friars with the ball after the timeout. Pierre brings it into the forecourt to our right. Davis picks him up top of the key, penetrates right down the lane, lost the ball, got tipped away from behind. Here comes Brooks the other way. Brooks challenging Hopkins, lays it up, and he scores.
Well, Brooks got a good game. I mean,
he's got 9 in the first half. He is a moose when he gets that energy moving. And just like that, Butler's back within 7. They're on a 7-0 run. And here's Duval, drives all the way through. Right corner, three-pointer is off the iron for Pierre and chased down by Brooks. So here come the Bulldogs.
That was a good look there by Pierre.
Landon Moore now has it at the point. Will work against Duval. Out near the midcourt circle. Can't penetrate on Garway just yet. Off to the right wing for Davis. Davis looks for Telford, who's mismatched there with Pierre. Kicks the ball back out. Davis fakes, fires off the deep three. Got it. Butler is back in this game.
Carter's not into this ball game very well. He's not scoring, and he's out there doing things that he normally doesn't do. He got beat on a pump fake right there and gives up the 3.
This is a 10-0 Butler run to answer the 15-0 run that the Friars started the game with. Back within 4. Carter comes off the screen to the high post. Comes to the right side now for Pierre. 10 to shoot. 2:34 on the first half clock. Pierre kicks it back to Hopkins, who gets off the 3, and that's well off the mark. Rebound, Duval. Duval has it, saves it, goes up with it, scores. Or do they rub it out?
I think they rubbed that out. I think they call a foul, an offensive foul on Duval.
Yep. So they call him for an offensive foul.
Well, when he got the rebound, he pushed off to take the shot and picks up the foul.
First on Garway. That's 6 on the Friars. And Duval comes out of the game. They're going to bring Corey Floyd back in. Friars have not scored in 3 minutes and 40 seconds.
Well,
Butler is back within 4.
Butler's taking away that fast break, and Friars have to play against a tough half-court defense.
Here's Moore, comes off a high screen to the left side. A lot of that is predicated by the rebounder. Now to the right side, drives to the right. Bowden Kapke is checked into the game here for Butler, a freshman from Victoria, Minnesota. Brooks gets down in the post, puts up the right-hand bank shot, and scores again. And Brooks is the one that's having the day right now. He's got 11 first-half points, and the Bulldogs are within 2 on a 12-0 run.
Guys can't stop him.
Hopkins crosses over on Kapke, right corner. Pierre pulls it out on the perimeter against Davis. Pierre drives to the left, finds Gaines for 3, short. Long rebound comes down to Pierre. On Hopkins, fakes right, looks left, going to spin inside on Kapke. Back out front for Carter. Carter crosses over, kicks it through to Pierre on the left wing. Pierre now drives to the right, top of the key, hesitates. Back out to Carter with 8 to shoot. He steps through a double team and scores.
Good execution here by the Friars. Butler made him work on that half-court set, taking away a lot of shots, and Carter finally gets involved offensively, gets to the basket.
First basket for Devin Carter with a $1:20 left to go in the first half. And that stops a 12-0 Butler run. Moore drives to the right elbow outside the three-point stripe. Kapke on the high post. Hands off for Telford, who curls to the right, cuts back to the left on Hopkins, gets into the lane with the left-hand dribble. Back out front for Moore. 6 to shoot. Moore drives down the lane, banks it up, scores, and he gets fouled.
Again, Carter gets beat on a pump fake, gets beat to the right. His man takes him to the basket, gets the score and the foul.
Carter gets called for the foul.
Carter's just not in sync in this ballgame. He's not being the normal Carter we're used to seeing out there defensively.
And that's 5 shots in a row now made by the Butler offense. And Landon Moore gets the deuce. He's got 8 here in the half. He only averages 4.9 points per game. He has a chance now to get the three-point play and pull his team within 1.
He's having a good ball game.
And the free throw is missed again. Rebound, Gaines. Friar lead is still 2 with 52 seconds left in the first half. This will be an attention getter in the locker room for sure. Carter between the circles, starts to the right, weaves to the right, spins in the lane, goes over the left hand and scores.
Good move by Carter right there. Maybe that'll get him going now on the defensive side. He's got a couple of scores, get his confidence going.
Telford now has it mid-forward circle. Providence back up by 4. 10 seconds difference between the clocks. Telford mid-forward circle, shares it there with Davis. Davis picked up there by Pierre, drives to the right, stops, now moves inside, kicks around, wants to go up and under, lobs it back to Moore in the right corner. Moore gets dribble penetration in the lane, kicks it through to Kapke, who gets off the 3 for the big man, in and out, no good. Rebound is tapped out to Carter. 13 seconds left. They're going to go for the final shot. And Carter looks over at Kim English to get the play call with 7, with 6, with 5, out near the mid-floor line with 4, with 3, goes up for the shot, got it tipped and blocked, and Butler comes down with the ball as they heave up a half quarter. I don't think that's what they were looking for, Joe.
Well, you get a shot blocked from 35 feet. That's unusual, but I think they can see Carter go to the basket right there, but it just doesn't seem like he's in sync in this ball game for some reason.
And Butler, a 14-4 run to end the first half to get back in this game after the Friars scored the first 15 points of the game. It's 37-33 at halftime. Austin Rooke will join us at the half. The first half highlights and updates from around the country coming up next. From Learfield, this is Providence Friar basketball.
Yeah, let's. What do you got? That'll work. Okay. Yeah, let's do the left corner 3 from Gaines, and then let's see what else. Do you have anything from Josh Oduro at all? All right, let's do Gaines first and Oduro second. All right, awesome. Thank you. Yeah, that's fine. Thank you. You got the read? Perfect. Okay. Remember, I'm going to ticket first. To Gaines first. Gaines first. Janney Montgomery Scott helps clients connect their life and their finances. Janney Montgomery Scott, LLC, member NYSE, FINRA, and SIPC. The Friars ripped off a 15-0 start to begin this game, but they only lead it by 4 here at the break, 37-33 over the Butler Bulldogs. Hi again, everyone. Austin Rooke with you here at halftime here at the AMP, and a nail biter. It didn't start that way, but Ticket Gaines was a huge reason why the Friars got off to that good start. He canned his 4th three of the half to lead the Friars in scoring in that first half from the left corner. Ticket gains 4 of 7 from downtown. He was 4 of 5. At one point, he's missed his last 2. Those are his only 12 points from the field. But his running mate in that first half was his fellow George Mason Patriot a year ago in Josh Oduro. Had the 2 fouls in the first half, but he's filling up the stat sheet. 7 points, 7 boards, and 4 dimes in that first half for the big man, the grad student out of Gainesville, Virginia, including this hoop in the first half. The moves we've seen out of Josh Oduro this season have been nothing like we've seen in really quite a while from a Friar big man, and he's been a huge reason why the Friars still have the lead in the first half. Of course, started out 15-0, but Butler has crawled their way back into it, a 14-4 run for the Bulldogs to get it back within 4 at the half. It was down as little as 2, and they've hit 5 of their last 6 shots from the field. 37-33. The Friars with the lead here at halftime. We'll take a trip around the Big East when we come back. From Learfield, this is Providence Friar basketball. That was perfect, Tiffany. Thank you. You got it. No worries. Thank you so much.
Give it up one more time for the Good Shepherd School.
Hey, Tiffany, how much time? Okay. Austin Rooke back here at the AMP, 37-33. The Friars leading it over the Butler Bulldogs. Elsewhere in the Big East, since the Friars defeated the Marquette Golden Eagles on Tuesday night, we had 3 games on Wednesday the 20th. Seton Hall with an upset at home over the Connecticut Huskies, 75-60 in Newark. In that one, St. John's with an opening Big East win over Xavier, 81-66. And the big one, Villanova goes to Omaha and beats Creighton 68-66 in overtime. In that one, Villanova will tip off their second Big East game later this afternoon against DePaul. That one tipping off at 4 o'clock. Marquette with a bounce-back victory and a get-right game against the Georgetown Hoyas in their first Big East game in Milwaukee, 81-51. The final of that one in Milwaukee. 20 points for David Joplin in that one. So also today, Seton Hall playing Xavier at 2 o'clock. St. John's at UConn on National Fox at 8 o'clock. But right here, the Friars with a 4-point advantage over the Butler Bulldogs, 37-33 here at home. Second half action coming up next from Learfield. This is Providence Friar basketball.
See, you're a pro, man. You're a veteran. You know I'll mess it up somewhere along the line. You're there to protect my ass.
Rhode Island Restoration, Santander Bank, Soggy Hot Dogs, C-Corp, WPRI Channel 12,
Yeah.
Warwick, LaSalle Bakery, Rhode Island Medical Imaging, Quality Productions, Capital Grill, High Noon.
Providence College is built to grow. Explore, question, learn, and need to connect. Discover the truth that defines us. A purpose with passion, a legacy of distinction and faith. Carried forward by those who dare to seek and discover. For those who seek more.
Friar fans, we need your help to ice the shooter in the second half. During the second half, if the opposing team misses 2 consecutive free throws, everyone in the building will receive a Dunkin' gift card. Fans, please turn your attention to the video board for today's out-of-town
Barron didn't even play that first half, did he?
Nope.
Even if my name is Natalie Nunny, I'm still punching checkmate. That's spiritual Chanel, ain't nothing to see. TV channel, and I'm a joke about baby, I'm a landscape. I've been doing nothing, earrings and Fendi. Instead, the trench coat for a barret with a C-O-M-P-E-T-I-T.
John Rooke, Joe Hassett back of the game, 37-33. Providence over Butler at halftime. And some of the numbers that kind of tell the story here, Joe, the Friars started a 15-0 run, cooled off a bit after that, of course. Still ended up shooting 45% from the floor and 7 of 19 from 3 at 37%, only 2 of 4 from the line. Butler heated up to 37%, from the floor after missing their first 11 shots. They finished 13 for their last 24.
Yeah, Butler got some nice contribution from Landon Moore off the bench. He had 3 for 4. He had 2 for 2 from three-point range when they needed to make some baskets. And then Pierre Brooks got it going halfway through that first half to score 11 points. He was 5 for 10. So those two guys on the offensive end, everybody else was kind of absent from offense for Butler. But they get back in the ball game. They play hard-nosed defense, and they slowed the Friars down. I mentioned already, John, the Friars started the game out 5 for 7, but they were all in the paint. And the three-pointers, both Pierre and Gaines with the penetration, but they were getting out on the fast break on the missed shots from Butler. But then Butler was able to get back on defense for the rest of the half, and the Friars had to play against a tough half-court defense of Butler, and that's why the score is slowed down a bit. Friars still have that 4-point lead.
Gaines led the Friars with 12 in the first half. Austin mentioned earlier, Oduro 7 points and 7 rebounds with 4 assists. And Butler was led by 11 from Pierre Brooks in the first half. Their leading scorer at 16 and a half per game. But Butler was only 3 for 8 from the free throw line. Came into the game top 10 in the nation, 7th nationally at 79.4 from the foul line. And only hit 3 out of 8. The other thing of note, Providence's defense, while they were just stifling there in the first few minutes, 37.9 from the floor on the season. That's 16th best defensively, holding teams shooting from the floor, and that's exactly where Butler shot in the first half at 37%.
Yeah, I mean, the Friar defense is there. You know, I think what Butler has done is they've been able to slow the game down a little bit.
Right.
You know, Friars like to get out and get on a fast break, and they were able to score up by slowing the game down. And Friars, you know, weren't going to shoot at that clip all night, but 19 of the 31 shots the Friars took were three-point shots. You got to get on the glass, which they did. They had 23 rebounds. But, you know, the second half is going to be about pace again. The Friars have to get the pace picked up. Need to get Devin Carter a little bit more involved in the offensive end.
Yeah, 23-20 edge on the backboard for the Friars. The Providence scored just 22 points in the last 15 minutes. That's a tempo that has to increase.
Right, and Oduro picked up those 2 fouls with 11:44 to go in that first half.
And that's what took the gas out of it.
Well, it took the rhythm that they had out there. And, you know, when you put Castro in, it's a totally different guy who's he can't run the offense the way Oduro does, and it starts to slow you down on the offensive end.
Butler in the road grays, Friars in the home whites. Bulldogs have the ball to start the second half, and we are underway at the AMP. Butler going basket to our right on the radio. Man-to-man defense for the Friars. Davis feeds the post for Jalen Thomas. Back out front now for Jamil Telford, who's matched up there against Bryce Hopkins. Takes to the left, starts back to the right off of the screen, works down to the right baseline. Friars switch. Oduro on Telford goes up with a jump hook off the back iron, no good, and Oduro rips it away.
There's Oduro effect right away.
Here's the Friars trying to run. Here's Gaines, doesn't get the shot off. Out to Carter for 3. Got it!
Is Carter involved right away? I just mentioned that. I mean, he wasn't involved at all in the first half offensively until like 2 minutes to go. It's the first shot of the second half.
Yeah, Carter now 1 for 4 from 3, and the Friars strike first, back up 7. High post, Thomas, hands off. Telford tries to curl to the right. Now comes to the right corner for Alexander, back out front for Davis. Goes out in the mid-floor circle, and Brooks will work against Gaines, takes it all the way into the lane, throws up the runner, and scores. They just can't stop Pierre Brooks.
Yeah, he is good.
He turns the corner, and they've got no hope of slowing him down.
Well, they're not double-teaming him when he gets to the corner. He likes that little floater when he makes it.
He's got 13 points to lead Butler, 40-35. Here's Hopkins driving to the right, hands off. Pierre gives it back to Hopkins, goes up and slams it home.
That's it. I thought he was fouling that play.
He
too.
was.
That's what you got to do against Brooks. If he's guarding Hopkins, you're going to make Brooks play defense. Go to Hopkins.
8 for Bryce Hopkins in the game. Providence back up by 7. Telford has it on the post. Now comes to the right side, curls around, throws up the runner again. Off the iron, no. Thomas with the offensive rebound. Gets the ball back out to Alexander. Posh works to the left, has it knocked on the floor, and a reach-in foul is called.
And Hopkins says, it's down the other end. I always got killed on that dunk.
He's
you
got a point.
Anything. Now you call a reach-in foul.
He's got a point. First foul on Bryce in the ballgame. First team foul of the second half here with 18:20 to go. Inbounds line from the baseline goes to left corner now for Davis. Davis drives on Brooks, puts it up the shot, can't get it. Loose ball in the paint, picked up by Gaines.
D right there. Again, Oduro on the glass, keeping everybody off the glass.
Into the forecourt left for Carter. Carter comes off the screen, tries to split 2 defenders. Out front for Gaines, now to the right side, bringing it back to the left is Hopkins. Oduro, high post looks, Hands off for Carter. Started to the right, waiting for his screen. Cuts to the left, slides down to the baseline. Gets cut off with 9 to shoot. Out front, Gaines for 3. Off the back iron. Long rebound tip taken by Telford. Into the forecourt up the left sideline. He streaks down the floor, gets to the baseline, kicks it all the way through. Three-pointer, Brooks on the way. Got it to go.
Brooks looks like an all-pro out there in this one. He's making three-pointers, and he's getting in the paint with little floaters.
16 for Pierre Brooks. And Butler back within 4. 17:28 on the clock. We got ourselves a game here. Carter, right sideline, between the circles. Pierre comes back to Carter, doesn't take the 3, kicks the ball back out front. And it will be Pierre for 3. Bounces short. Oduro, offensive rebound. Gets Carter in the right corner for 3. It's in and out. It won't go. It was halfway down, and Brooks grabs the rebound for Butler.
Good activity on the glass. Good job by Oduro on that rebound. Just didn't make the shot.
Friars need to find a way now to D up here. Telford drives on Hopkins, gets into the lane, slides to the right, out front for Brooks. Brooks thought about that deep 3, gives it to Thomas, now gets off the deep 3, off the back iron, and Hopkins high for the rebound.
Good D there
and then
by
he gets
Carter.
fouled. Thomas will finally foul him on that one.
Good D there by Carter on Brooks. Went out and challenged that jump shot that time. Now Brooks knows he's there. He's going to maybe twitch a little bit. He won't be in a nice rhythm. So Carter picking up the defense. That's what he needs to do.
First foul on Jalen Thomas. First on the Bulldogs here in the half. Friars with the ball, 4-point lead. Jaden Pierre brings it right to left into the forecourt of the radio here in half number 2. High post for Oduro. Oduro turns and looks at the defense. Thomas away from him about 4 feet. Swings the pass over to Carter. Carter looks for his screen, gives it back to Oduro. Free throw line jumper up, bounces short. And Brooks with the rebound. Pushes back the other way for Alexander. Alexander now takes off down the lane, scoops it up, tries to flip it up over his hand. Can't get it. Friars try to save it, and then Oduro throws it away because everybody had turned to go up the floor.
Yeah, 2 guys were running. Gaines was at midcourt, and Hopkins had his back to the ball, and Oduro threw it to him.
Just the 5th turnover of the game for the Friars, but a costly one. Butler gets the ball back with a fresh 20 on the shot clock. Here comes Corey Floyd as the first second-half sub. 16-17 to go. Carter comes off. And now the Bulldogs will bring it inbound. Forecourt to our right from the far sideline. Out front for Posh Alexander. He'll work on Floyd. Comes off the screen. Curls down to the post on him. Muscles his way in. Goes up with it and scores over Floyd.
Boy, I tell you what, that's all he wants to do. Posh Alexander, he can't shoot, so he tries to get in the paint. Plays like a power forward. You got to body him.
And this is a 2-point game, 42-40. Friars led by 4 at the break. High post, Oduro turns and looks at Jalen Thomas. Now hands off for Hopkins. Hopkins on Telford, drives to the right side, outside the 3-point stripe. Three-pointer, Gaines, short. Rebound, tipped. It's out of bounds. It is off of Oduro. And we got a timeout with 15:42 to go. And the Bulldogs with the ball and could take their first lead of the ball game on the next possession. From Learfield, this is Providence Friar basketball. Damn. Butler has completely changed the face of the game by controlling the tempo.
Yeah, they've slowed it down, and they're not allowing them to run. And they're getting the high screens. They're coming off Brooks and Telford. They're just tough out there. And Alexander gets around the screen. He goes to the basket.
It was right to the basket. Yeah,
and they hit the offensive glass. They got to be out rebounding us by now.
Let's see. Nope, 28-25.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
Reminds me a little bit of that game we came from the dead a couple of years ago at Butler. What were we down 17 early in the second half?
18 to start the second half. We came back and won.
3, 2, 1, let's go.
Look at that, fast break points, 5-4. I don't know how they come up with that stat. Feels like we had more in the first 4 sessions.
England laborers are training the workforce of today that will build tomorrow with state-of-the-art training academies throughout New England. You'll be equipped with the construction skills, knowledge, and experience to start your career and a better tomorrow. Liuna. Feel the power.
Well, typical Big East game, John. It's just going to be a grind to the end. It looks like Friars get off to the big lead, but you got that 30-second shot clock and 3-pointers, and you get right back in the game. And Butler's right here now, down 42-40, and they have the ball with a chance to go in the lead. Second-hand stats here, the Friars just 2 for 7 at 28%, 1 for 5 from three-point range at 20%. Yeah. Butler, 3 for 8, 37%. That's what they've been shooting for the ball game. 1 for 2 from three-point range. But the difference has been Pierre Brooks. When they need a hoop, it seems like he's the guy that comes up with the hoop. He's 7 for 13 from the floor with 16 big points in this ball game. Gaines has taken 9 shots for the Friars. All 9 have been three-pointers. He's 4 for 9 from 3. The Friars are 8 for 24 from three-point range.
Yeah, they got 24 threes and only 14 twos that they've attempted.
Yeah, I mean, they've been open looking those shots. But Butler's 5 for 10 from three-point range. So they're shooting the ball better from three-point range than they are for the ball game at 37%. So Friars, though, with those 5 turnovers is not a lot. The Friars have been double digits most of the year. But Butler only has 1 turnover in the ball game. And that's a big difference why they have the possessions out. They've taken 5 more shots than the Friars, and they have those 7 offensive rebounds. So Butler taking good care of the ball.
Butler only averages 11 turnovers per game. They've got the ball and a chance to tie or take the lead for the first time in the ball game on this possession. Here's Posh Alexander with it off the top of the key. Forecourt to our right, swings outside, hands off there for Pierre Brooks. Brooks well outside the perimeter on ticket gains. Back to the left sideline for Alexander. There's a feed in the post. And into the game is Andre Screen. Screen tries to push his way on Oduro. Spins to the outside, banks it up, in and out. Alexander with the offensive rebound, got it away from Hopkins. Gives it off to Davis for 3, and he hits it, and Butler grabs the lead.
How about that rebound by Alexander there? He comes in and one boxed out, gets the rebound. Now Butler has the lead by 1.
First lead of the ball game for the Bulldogs after the Friars scored the first 15 points, and it comes with 15 minutes to play. High post, Oduro. 2 dribbles, swings around the arc to the left side against Screen. May take him off the dribble, goes right inside, goes up, banks it up, and won't get it, but they're going to call a foul finally. Yep.
Yeah, that's a late. I mean, come on. He got hit on that shot.
Sure did. Sure did. They're going to get Andre Screen for the foul. That's his 3rd of the ball game, 2nd of the team here in the half.
But that's going to put Oduro on the foul line here for 2. But, Friars isolated Oduro that time to take it up against Screen, similar to what Butler's doing against Oduro. See, what Butler wants to do is pick up the 3rd foul on Oduro. Good coach, Thad Matta, wants to get Oduro out of the game because this Friar team is a much different team when he's not on the floor.
Right.
So if you're going to have Screen against Oduro, put Oduro against Screen. I don't think Screen can guard Oduro. Oduro's a little quicker than he is.
Oduro at the line for the first time this afternoon, hits the free throw. That's his 8th point. Leads the team at 83% from the line of the year. That's the first points for the Friars in 4 minutes, Joe. And they've tied it up at 43.
Well, Butler's playing good defense. I mean, Thad Matta's teams over the years have always been good defensive teams. And he's mixed that in with a little offense. I mean, they're physical guys. They're getting into the paint. They know their roles. This kid Moore coming in the ball game right now had a big first half. He's just a freshman, you mentioned, John. He had 2 3-pointers in that first half when Butler was struggling to score, so he helped them get back in the game. But the Friars now have to come out and play good, solid defense and get their offense going.
Second shot for Oduro on the way and got them both. 9 for Josh in the game. Friars retake a 1-point lead. 14:44 to go. Alexander in the backcourt. Finds Pierre Brooks into the forecourt on the left sideline. The Michigan State transfer working now on Hopkins. Cuts to the right, down the lane, runner up, runner in. They cannot stop this guy. Man. He's got 18 points to lead all scorers in this game. Pierre Brooks puts Butler back up 45-44.
Makes it look easy, too.
Sure does. Pass into the post. Oduro tries to back his way in on Screen from the right side, swings into the lane, goes up with a fadeaway jumper, rolls around the rim, and it won't stick. Alexander
by Oduro.
Alexander with the rebound. Here come the Bulldogs. Alexander takes it down low all the way through again, and then Corey Floyd bumps him out of bounds.
But Alexander uses the screen outside there by Screen, who's a big dude, and gets around him there. He wants to get to the basket.
Darway Dual to check back in. Floyd will come out. Butler will inbound with 23 on the shot clock. 14:04 on the game clock. Baseline left of the basket. Alexander bounces left wing for Brooks. Back out front now for Screen. Screen fakes, drives down inside on Oduro, muscles his way underneath. Got it blocked by Oduro, goes back up, and there's the foul on Oduro. That is great strategy there by Thad Mata, without a doubt.
Well,
going right at Oduro, as you said.
The Friars aren't going to double team him, and they know he's going to play him straight up, so Screen doesn't have to worry about a double team. He just has to beat his man and picks up the third foul on Oduro.
Screen will go to the line to shoot 2. Oduro gets his third foul with 13:55 to go.
It's like getting his second foul with 11:44 in the first half.
The Screen over one of the line, has 2 points in the ballgame. On the season, 66%. And the free throw is in and out. No good. That's the one thing that has kept this Butler team from away from the lead most of the game. They're just 3 for 9 from the free throw line, which is unheard of. And here's the Dunkin' Donuts ice the shooter, in effect. The crowd will tell you. Shot for Screen is no good. Thank you, Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, but they won't do that anymore down there. I like it when they get crowd like that.
On the right side, I know. Outside, top of the key, Carter. Duval fed it to him. Now Carter comes off the screen, rolls down the right, stops inside the free throw line, turn around jumper, good.
He likes that move. I see him practice that all the time where he gets into the paint, stops, and has a little fall away.
9 for Carter. Friars back up 1, 13.5 to go. Kim English urging his defense on. Brooks gets into the lane for Posh, who drives. Offensive foul on Alexander. And that time he lowered his shoulder, and guess who was there to take that charge?
Carter.
Devin Carter.
He gets it done with offense and defense.
And
So
that's 3 fouls now on Posh with 13:23 to go.
You know, Carter makes such a difference out on the ballgame. First half, he was like, didn't seem like he was into it, but he's into it now. When he gets into it, this Friar team just does everything pretty well. He starts with the defense, and he gets his offense going.
Screen and Alexander come out. Telford and Thomas back in for Butler. Fires with the ball. Duval has it on the right side. Elbow. Stops, looks, right corner for Hopkins. Hopkins trying to dribble penetration in on Telford. Backs it outside the three-point stripe. Up high for Carter again. He's got Moore guarding him. Gets off the screen. Scoots to the right side of the free throw line. Out to Hopkins, who launches a three. No, can't get it. Boy, Bryce is just having all kinds of trouble. Only 20% from 3 on the season. Landon Moore comes off a high screen. Rolls to the left now for Butler. Pulls it out on the perimeter. Now works on Oduro out there. Goes right by him, lays it up, and scores.
Yeah, he knew Morris is a good little player. And he knew he had a big guy on him, just went right by him.
That's 10 for Landon Moore. His season high is 12. And Butler's back up 1. Here's Pierre driving right, gets down low, gets it blocked. No foul call as he got knocked to the floor. Man, this is a one-sided call on the game. Telford drives into the lane, turns it up, gets the ball down low, and a foul called on the Friars. Wow. I think they're going to get Pierre on this one.
I hope so, because Oduro was right next to him.
Yep. It's on Pierre. That's his second, and that's 4 on Providence here in the half with 12:21 to go.
Domingo's trying to get a call out of Brian O'Connell on that on Pierre's shot to the basket. He thought he was hit with the body, but O'Connell said he wasn't.
Moore will inbound for the baseline, right of the basket this time, into the right corner. Davis, catch and shoot, 3 short. Long rebound for Duval.
Good defense by Carter right there. He bothered that shot.
Here come the Friars, and Carter gets fouled by Moore on the other end of the floor. Landon Moore picks up his first. That's 4 on Butler here with 12:13 and a half to play. Friars will inbound it with 26 to shoot, trailing 47-46. Friars have hit just 1 of their last 9 shots from the floor. Duval looks for the inbound. They lob it out to Oduro. High post. He's going to drive in on Jalen Thomas. Right side, spins to the right, goes back up and scores.
Put him on a spin machine right there. I mean, that was a good move by Oduro.
11 for Oduro. Friars back up a point. Superb move.
Now.
Here's Moore now driving here on Ticket Games, who's back in. Moore drives right, high screen, pulls it out, swings it left for Davis. Davis penetrates on Duval, backs it off again on the left side. Now underhands the ball up high for Thomas. Thomas goes to the right wing for Moore. Moore shows it, comes out with 5 to shoot. Moore drives on Oduro, goes up for the runner in the lane and scores again.
Well, they had to switch, and Moore had Oduro on him and beat him again.
Every time they switch, They find themselves in a mismatch, and Butler takes advantage of
Well,
it.
Moore did the last 2 times with a big guy. Good move by Moore.
Here comes Duval curling to the left corner. Hopkins for 3. Can't get it again. Bryce Hopkins in this game is 0 for 5 from 3-point range. Landon Moore spins into the lane, drives, puts it up, got it blocked. Friars come up with the ball. Here comes Hopkins. 1-on-2 into the forecourt. 1-on-3, takes it right to the hoop, backs it up, won't get the call, but there will be a foul. Yep, it'll be called on Pierre Brooks, the first foul of the game on Brooks with 11:06 to go. And we have a timeout. Butler 49 and Providence 48. We've got a banger here in the Big East. From Learfield, this is Providence Friar basketball.
Man, if Hopkins can make a couple of threes, we'd be up 10.
No kidding. He just can't shoot anymore.
He never could shoot. Yeah, it's too bad. I mean,
He was better last year. Last year he shot 36%.
From 3?
Yeah.
Wow.
And we didn't think he was a good shooter last year. Costed himself a lot of money. Might want to be thinking about raising some NIL for this dude to come back next year.
Huh?
Might want to raise some NIL for him to come back next year. What's that?
What do you think, Alexa? She's going with 2.
Yeah, I got it. That is his second of the year, 17th of his career.
This kid Moore's a freshman?
No, he's a sophomore.
Sophomore. He's a good little player.
He's a freshman last year at St. Francis.